Hey guys, I'm Amit Kumar and in this video we are going to talk about database methods. Topics that we will cover up in this video are different methods of database class for DML operation, difference between database methods and DML statements, reason of using database methods over DML statements, getting the result of the DML operation performed by database methods, and some point of caution while working with database methods. So without wasting any time further, let's proceed with the video. Apex contains the built-in database class which also provides methods that perform DML operation. We have used one of the method of the same class, that is database.query, while we were creating dynamic SQL statement. The following database methods are static methods and they are used for performing DML operation. The methods are database.insert, database.update, database.upsert, database.delete, database.undelete, and database.merge. Database methods have an optional parameter which is all or none that allows us to specify whether the operation should partially succeed or not. When this parameter is set to false, if an error occurs on a partial set of records, the successful records will be committed and errors will be returned for the failed records. With all or none as false, no exceptions are thrown with the partial success option. For example, here you can see we are calling database.insert on a list of record and passing false value for all or none parameter. While inserting data, if any of the data in the list of record is not proper, then that data will not be inserted, remaining data will be inserted successfully. The database method return result objects that contain success or failure information for each record. The following classes are used for storing results of database methods. For example, database.saveResult is basically used when we are performing insert or update operation. Database.upsertResult is used with upsert operation. Database.deleteResult is used with delete operation. Database.unDeleteResult is used with undelete operation, and database.mergeResult is used with merge operation. These classes contains methods to get information about record ID which is created or updated and errors in case if there is any. It also contains method to check whether the operation have been successful or not. So it's pretty much of talk and now it's time to see the things practically. And guys, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And if you want to stay updated with proper Salesforce tutorials and want to watch more tutorials, make sure to subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon. Also, if you have thoughts or question, drop it in the comments. I would love to hear from you and promise I will read every single one. Thank you so much guys, and now you can proceed with the video. Hey guys, welcome to the practical session of database methods. So till now we have seen different types of DML statements, but all the DML statements that we were using right now were just simple statements and we were using a record or list of records to perform that DML operation on them. We can use database class to perform these DML operations as well. Now if you remember a few videos ago, I told you about a query method of the database class. Now that method is actually used to create dynamic SQL queries. Now the same database class also has some certain methods like insert, update, upsert, delete, undelete, and merge. Now as the name suggests, these methods are used to perform these DML operations only. Now I'm going to show you one of them, and then we will discuss what is the benefit of using database methods over DML statements. Now suppose if I want to create a contact, let's suppose Sumit Kumar, let's add an email as well. So con.email sumit@kumar.com. Now if I want to insert this contact, I can use insert DML statement, but right now I'm going to use database.insert method and I will pass this single record inside it. Now this insert method can accept a single record or can accept a list of contacts as well. And if I click on execute, this will insert this contact in our Salesforce. Now both of them, using an insert statement and using an insert method, seems quite similar, right? But there is a huge difference between them. Now I will come to that difference, but before that, let me show you whether this specific contact record has been created or not. So let's go to our org. In the contacts, let's refresh it. And here you can see Sumit Kumar record has been created with that specific email. So yes, database methods can be used to perform DML operation. But now the question is, what's the difference between DML statement and using a database method? Now to explain you the difference, let me create a list of accounts, and before that let me remove few accounts from our Salesforce org. So you see I am having sample account 1, 2, 3, 4, so I am removing these accounts from here. So you see I have removed all the 4 sample accounts, and now only 16 accounts are there in my org. Now let's create a list of accounts over here. Now inside that list I will pass account records, so I will directly pass the account constructor over here with a name and type. So here you can see I have created 4 account records. Out of these 4, one is having name and type, second one is having name and annual revenue, third one is only having type and no name, and fourth one is having name and type again. I have provided different names to them. Now if I try to insert these accounts and click on execute, I will get an exception. Now the reason for this exception is, out of all these 4 records, one of the record is not having name field, and name is one of the required field, right? Though only one of the record is not having the name field and rest 3 of them were having it, still none of the records have been inserted in the org. So if I show you the org now, here you can see, let me refresh it, and you can see none of the account have been inserted. And the reason for that is, when you are using DML statement, it is executed as a transaction. So either all of the records will be inserted successfully or none of the records will be inserted successfully. The default behavior of database.insert method is also saved. So if I will call database.insert over here and click on execute, even this is going to give us exception as well. And even now also none of the record will be inserted in the org. So if I show you the org and refresh it again, still none of the record is inserted here. But by using database methods, we can override or we can modify this behavior. We can pass a second parameter over here as false. Now the second parameter represents all or none. By default, all or none is true. That means all the records will be inserted or none of the records will be inserted. But we can pass a false value for it as well. And in case if we will pass a false value over here, then only those records that can be successfully inserted will be inserted in the org, and those records which are having error will be skipped. And in this scenario, we will not receive any kind of exception. So if I am going to click on execute now, I will not receive any kind of exception, and the rest of the 3 accounts, that is sample account 1, 2 and 4, will be inserted successfully. So let me click on execute. So you might have noticed there is no error coming now. And if I go to my org and refresh it, then you can see sample account 1, 2 and 4 have been inserted successfully. Now let me delete them once again. Okay, so now you might be thinking, fine, with the help of this behavior, we can do partial insertion, partial updation, deletion, undeletion. So those things can be done. Of course, it is possible. Those things can be performed. One more benefit over here is you can know the result of the operation as well here in the code itself. Now generally, what is happening when we are passing false, exception is not occurring. But you can know about the record which is causing the error or which is not inserted, updated or deleted successfully. Now how to do that? So actually database class provides us some other classes for that operation. For example, when we are inserting, we have a save result. When we are upserting, we have an upsert result. When we are deleting, we have a delete result. When we are undeleting, we have undelete result. And when we are merging, we have merge result for that. So right now I am inserting, and if I want to know the result of this operation, what I can do is I will call database.save result, and I will create a variable for the same. Now because we are performing operation on more than one records, that's why it always returns a list of save results. It won't be a single variable. In fact, it will be a list. So let me create a list of database.save result, name it as results. Now the result of the first record will be stored at the 0th index of this list or at the first location, and hence the second will be stored at the second location, third will be stored at the third location, fourth will be stored at the fourth location of this list. So we can go through this result and we can know the result of the operation. So let me iterate over it, and let me also show you the documentation of this save result class. Now with the help of save result class, we can know whether the operation was successful or not. Okay. Similarly, with the help of update result, upsert result, delete result, undelete result and merge result, you can do the same. I am not only showing you the documentation, I will also share the link of these documentation in the description of the video as well as in the resource available. So this is our save result class, and here we have these methods like get errors, get ID, and is success. With the help of this is success, we will come to know whether the DML operation have been performed successfully or not. This will return us a boolean value. So we can call it over here if res dot is success. Now in case of success, we can also come to know about the record that has been created. In fact, the record ID can also be fetched with the help of the same save result. How to do that? There is a get ID method. So I am just simply printing over here record inserted, and here I am printing the ID as well. So res dot get ID. Now you might have noticed there is one get errors method as well. Now get errors method returns you an array of errors. There is a database dot error class. So it returns an array of database dot error, from where we will come to know about what are the different types of error that have occurred. But this will return you that only when it is not successful. It means when this specific criteria is false. So in the else part, what we can do is we can get the errors over here. That will be an array of database dot error, or we can have it in a list as well. So database dot error, let me name it as errors, and we can get it from res. Method name is get errors. Now it is returning a list because there can be more than one errors, right? Now we can iterate over this list as well, and this database dot error class is also having few methods. Let me show you that. You can click on it. These methods are get message, which we basically use all the time, get status code in case if you want to know the status code of the error, and get fields to know the name of the fields which is generating those errors. So I'm going to use all three of them. So here I'm printing record insertion failed. In fact, everything I will print in one single line. So here I will use err.get message, then err.get status code, and finally err.get fields. So this is the whole code. As you can see, the result of this operation is hold here in the list of database.save result. We are iterating over the database.save result, checking out whether it is successful or not. If it is successful, we are getting the ID and printing it. If it is not successful, we are getting the errors and iterating over error and printing the message, which is a method over here, sorry for the typo, status code and fields. Let's click on execute, and now let's click on debug. So you can see the first, second record have been inserted successfully, and it is showing the record ID for them. In the third one, insertion failed. The message is required fields are missing. The field is name. The message is required fields are missing, name. The status code is required field missing, and the fields are name field. So with the help of this save result or database.save result class, we can know more about the result of the operation. So the major difference between DML statement and database method is DML statement do not allow you to go for partial DML operations, whereas database method allows you to do that. Secondly, in case of database method, you can know about the result of the operation whatsoever that you are doing. Now that marks the end of this video. See you soon in the next video. Till then, thank you and take care.